where we are. So that is my take on that.
All right, Prof. Talking about our leadership recruitment, that is the leadership question in our democracy, and comparing it with the integrity of our elections, are we getting it right in Nigeria?
The leadership recruitment process is tied to the nature and character of the political parties that we have. First and foremost, engineer talked about the cost of elections. For you to be recruited into any political party as a leader, you need to have so much money.
Yeah.
You need to have the capacity. Here, when I mean capacity, I mean financial capacity to be able to run
what they call financial war chest.
War chest to be able to buy, because you can imagine that forms were sold at the cost of 50 million, 100 million.
Unfortunately.
And so you may want to do a quick mathematics of my salary as a professor, maybe for the next 30, 40 years for me. So when I hear people say that you people are always fond of staying in universities and condemning the system, why not come and join the system? And then you begin to ask some basic questions. You know, the entire process has been so commercialized, such that it is so difficult for even men of goodwill, men and women of goodwill, you know, to participate in the process. In fact, fundamentally, you will notice that with the cost of running elections in Nigeria, a number of persons have been automatically disenfranchised. When you look at the vulnerable groups, women and those who are physically challenged and so on and so forth. So it does not create room for new entrants into the system. I will give you an example. If you look at existing laws, our successive electoral acts, 2002, 2006, the cost, how much are you supposed to generate, to run elections? How much are you supposed to spend during elections? Let me give you some example. For president, in 2006, you were allowed to generate not more than 500 million naira. By 2010, the 2010 Electoral Act moved it from 500 million to 1 billion. It was subsequently moved in the 2022 Electoral Act to 5 billion naira. And it goes like that for governorship, with the minimum for House of Assembly position, you are expected to generate and spend 30 million naira. Now, when you begin to look at this cost of running elections, you now understand why there are patrons, determining who should emerge as leaders or elected representatives in our country. How many people can generate or raise that type of money to run elections, do campaigns? Unfortunately, the political parties, like I said, citizens don't owe the political parties. They don't contribute money. The political parties are owned by a group of persons who feel that these are their personal estates, and then they determine what happens. So back to your question, recruitment of people in our political parties is tied to the nature and character of the political parties that we have established. Are these political parties, willing to open the space, to ensure that so many people, you and I, have the opportunity to contest, so that citizens can now freely choose amongst the various aspirants? So it has not created room for that. And so the recruitment process is such that we have continued to see the same caliber of persons since 1999 running elections, because by virtue of the fact that they have, mind you, state resources are used. Once you become elected or an appointee of government, you begin to use state resources. When I say state resources, what do I mean? State-owned media, are used to run elections, vehicles, stadia, and so on and so forth. Once, in fact, when in doing that, you even deny your opponents the opportunity of using same. So these people have been in power since 1999. They control state resources. They use the state resources to do the unimaginable. They use state resources to win elections and in the process deny other people the opportunity of coming into that political space. So recruitment of leaders into government can only, become better when INEC and various institutions of government begin to rethink the involvement of money in our political process.
All right. Engineer Otena, you want to chip in a word briefly before we engage with the listener?
Yes.
All right.
Political parties, unfortunately, where we have found ourselves, the major political parties seems to be in crisis. And to think that these are the body that are supposed to engage in the recruitment process, the political parties now, they are supposed to engage in the recruitment process to future the candidates, and now finding themselves in crisis. It's a very unfortunate development. That's our reality, and that needs to be said. But that is not the end. That is not the end. I will keep emphasizing that what is happening to us is a learning process. We will get to a point that everybody will now come to agree that, okay, we have had enough of this crisis here and there. There is need for us for the overall good of the country and the people we claim we want to serve or we are serving. There is need for us to make adjustment. But in all this, I have said it earlier, the human factor always comes to play. But I believe as the Nigerians, the citizens, begin to take responsibility, begin to democratize the system, the need for the correction will come. We cannot just say, let us just leave it like that and continue to accuse each other. The cost implication also that was touched by Professor has always been there, and some of us have tried to see the best way we can to reduce costs. Like, for example, in Labour Party form for people with disabilities or challenges or any physical challenge is free, just to encourage participation. We allow them to have it free, and the same thing goes for women. We allow women to have our forms for free. All this is in a way to reach to the disadvantaged community so that they can also find place to participate. The political parties as it is, INEC and the government need to come to our legislators need to come together and see how they could pass laws. Since we are guided by laws, see how they can pass a law to mandate a ceiling in sales of forms and other things that political parties run. And the process of electing, there should be stringent law also by the law, by INEC and other lawmakers to see that there is internal democracy within political parties. This is very, very important because that is the pot, if I may, that is the pot that cook the meal. If the political parties are unable to democratize and allow internal democracy to produce credible candidates, they will continue to churn out. I'm trying to use a lighter word. We will continue as a political party to bring out candidates that are ill-prepared for the challenges ahead.
Maybe if you want mediocres.
I don't want to use that. Ill-prepared. Ill-prepared for the challenges ahead. We can see that is what is playing out. Unfortunately, the political parties are responsible for bringing out candidates, but you can see what is happening. So until we begin to, bring laws to guide these things, stringent law, I strongly challenge the institution responsible to come out with stringent laws to guide for internal democracy, to see to it that we are bringing out credible people, credible candidates to go for elections.
All right, dear listener, that will be a fine place for us to activate the line for you to participate on the program. Remember, we are discussing the International Day of Democracy, and you can call in on 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. Send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. If you are sending an SMS, please remember to include your name and where you are sending it from. Log on to our website on www.agateradiotv.com to listen to us. Download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store. Follow our social media pages where this program is also streaming. We'll be back shortly. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Welcome. Good to have you join us.
Yes, this is Igbudu Tenenge calling from Beast at the moment.
Okay, good to have you, Igbudu Tenenge.
Yes, actually, in my own perspective, I look at politics is a business in Nigeria, where there are some people, some cabals think they are more than the structure because they are the one that dictate what happens in the party. That is why we can hear a particular minister saying that nobody can sanction him when in a particular party. So it is high time we should try to look at politics as a career, not a business. Now, okay, let's ask ourselves, why is it that they are not going to say, okay, anybody that is being found with corrupt charges will be given a death penalty? Immediately, if they should put that structure into perspective, okay, any politician that is found with any corrupt charges, death penalty, we will sanitize the system. Just of a recent, people protested, and the politicians brought a lot of new rules or new laws. Anybody that protests, this and that, but we are failing to go to the main aspect, sanitizing our political system. So I think it is high time we should sanitize our political system so that people that are going into this should know that, okay, I'm going into a career, not into business. That is why you look at a local government chairman earns more than a professor. It's not right. So I think it's high time we should try to sanitize the system more than everything else, then we'll get it right. And I really don't like what Professor is saying that we're young. Yeah, in as much as we're just 45 years or 46 years into politics, but we have learned from people that were there right from the time ab initio. So it is high time we should do the right thing. So that is my perspective.
Thank you, Igbudu Tenenge. We appreciate you for taking your perspective on this program. Let's talk about the things that will strengthen our democracy. Those are the things that should be upheld in our democratic
I think I made the point that...
I'll be with you shortly, Prof.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Welcome.
Yes, my regards to the visitors with you in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I am Tekula Haji. I'm calling you from Batia, Boko local government.
Okay.
Yes, I want to appreciate the visitors so much for what they are narrating on the democracy. You see, Nigeria of today...
Tekula Haji, Tekula, I can hear a hallback effect of your radio set which is close to you. If you may move away from it,
Okay.
or turn down its volume, that would be better. Once we conclude, you bring it on and
Okay.
continue to listen. Yes. Yes.
You know...
Continue with your thoughts, please.
Yes. You know, Nigeria of today is very difficult because we are practicing not democracy in Nigeria. Let me put it like that. We are practicing like ABC, like an alphabet political party in Nigeria here. Yes, some are emphasized on APC, PDP, ADP like that. Not the person that will do or somebody that can do development or anything that is good in Nigeria. We have to follow in political parties. We are following alphabet. That is our problem in Nigeria. As they are talking of a Labour Party. As of last election, Labour Party brought out a very better candidate. But as far as we follow alphabet in alphabetical political parties, we vote them out. You see, that is what we are practicing in Nigeria here. And I want to appreciate you. The topic is very fantastic.
Thank you, Tekula.
Thank you so much in the studio. Yeah.
Thank you. Tekula says we should stop practicing alphabets. We should practice true democracy, not just following alphabets. Good morning.
Good morning, Agate Radio.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you very much. My name is Joseph Odumeke from Kutko Quarters, High Level Market.
All right, good to have you, Joseph Odumoke.
Thank you very much. I wish to appreciate the guests in the house.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I want to disassociate myself from one topic which they talked about. That is the issue of learning. That we Nigerians are still learning. It is not correct. We have learned enough. We have learned a lot. The problem is that we have refused to practice what we have learned. So let us begin to practice what we have learned. For instance, the issue of fuel subsidy, the removal or no removal, the process should have been that the matter should have been taken to the National Assembly, where we are all being represented by our senators and House of Rep members. But this was not done. It was just pronounced by the president. And if you take the view of Nigerians today, 99% of Nigerians are against the issue of fuel removal. Yet, the government is holding tenaciously to the policy. This is not democracy at all. It means the government is doing whatever that is pleasing them. That is what I want to say in this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. That is, government should be responsive to the yearnings and aspirations of people. Thank you, Joseph, for your submission. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nathaniel.
Welcome. Good to have you on Perspective.
Yes, good morning to your guests in the studio.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Engineer Sunday Akpa calling from North Bank, Makoti.
All right. Good to have you, Sunday Akpa.
Your guys have spoken very, very well. My take is like this. So long as Nigerians, their mentality for joining politics is to go and acquire wealth, we are not going to succeed. That is the mentality of any average Nigerian joining politics. They see it as the quickest and the cheapest way of making money. And that is what is on display. So they don't join politics for service. Very few of them go there for, as servants of the people. The people just see it as an avenue to go and amass wealth and become rich, and become bourgeoisie in the society. So if we don't change that mentality, we are not going to succeed. We pray we change that mentality Sunday and begin to love the country. If not, since Abraham Lincoln defined democracy as government of the people, by the people, and for the people, in Nigeria, it's like the government of the rich, for the rich, and by the rich. And that is the problem. Thank you very much. That's my take.
Thank you, Sunday Akpa. A mental reorientation in joining politics. But interestingly, every politician will say, my people sent me, I'm here to serve the interests of the people. The other day I was discussing with my colleague, everybody said, my people sent me, my people sent me. So, well,
you should be wary when they say my people sent me.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, presenter.
Welcome to Perspective.
Yeah, good morning, the guest in the studio.
Good morning.
This
Good
is
morning.
the voice of Mark Anwangbende, the father from local government.
Okay, Father. Mark Anwangbende, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. You know, the topic discussing this morning is for the benefit of the masses. Talking about the democracy now, as we are in a democratic ruling, I think there is a failure because one of your guests in the studio has just said something that give rest of my mind. That a leader is not somebody who will go out and do his way. I think a leader needs to acquire the aims of the members of the society. So comparing as a leader, go to our political parties now, you will know that all the affairs of the political parties are being controlled by individuals. It is not good. I think a political party needs to maintain its constitution. But if you go in terms of this political godfatherism, you will discover that every political party now is being controlled by an individual, which is very, very unfair. And our leaders are failing to do the needful in terms of the benefit of the masses. But I'm rather advising our political top functionaries that the aims of our political parties is to give the dividends of democracy to the people. So with the electorate, we need not to be voting alphabet, as one of the callers said. I think we need to be voting individuals and candidates instead of political alphabet.
Right.
It is not good.
Thank
and
you, Mark.
our leader need to give us listening ear. If you see on the inaugural speech of Mr. President, he failed woefully to took a single decision. Instead of waiting for the key appointment that he will appoint people and they will discuss with them to know what he can do and will be the benefit of the masses. He took a single decision by removing fuel subsidy. Now, the all challenges on the ground, this is the cause. So I think we need to be together in decision making. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. The people should be carried along in decision making. 0814-335-9292. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, unfortunately, we lost connection with you, but the line is still open. You can try to call back. Good morning.
Nathaniel, good morning.
Good to have you on Perspectives. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. My regards to the professor and the engineer in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Dondove James from APA, in both local government of Benin.
All right, Dondove, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. The truth of the matter is that God has richly blessed this country with abundance, but the people who are at the helm of affairs, whom we have democratically elected into positions of authority, are making things worse for the people of the country. It's rather very unfortunate. This day is supposed to be celebrated with great joy, but lamentation on the face of every Nigerian. We pray that God to change the narrative for us. And for we people, we have to do something as well. For how long? Like the engineer was saying, that we should wait for 100 and something years before things will change for better. I say no to that.
Yeah.
We cannot wait for so long. Because there are countries like South Africa that has recently gotten independence. There are countries like we all used to say Ghana must go. The people there were very poor. The government was bad, but now things have changed there and they are living in their own country. We can do things here. But the people that are completely failing us are the people that are representing us. The representative people are the reps and senate. You know, they are even intimidating other members that are there, even members of the majority party. Like in Duma's case, when you are talking against the government and the things you are saying are factual, they say you are like biting the finger that said you are in the same political party. So whatever the party is doing, no matter bad it is, you must not mention anything. That is not good. The case of Nduma is an example that we are putting forward. It shouldn't be like that. Even if the man is in your party and is doing wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dondove James, for your submission. You didn't land and the network disconnected you, but your submission was quite elaborate anyway. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ageledio.
Welcome.
I am Ilium Alfred, calling from Wefe Quarter, popularly known as Kido. You see, your farmer, when you dig, you take care of the bush. But this
Hello, Alfred. Hello, Alfred.
Hello?
Yes.
See, we vote them. We tell them, say, we federal security offices, we are not online. Make them terminate us. They take us to other this thing. We are suffering. No poor man market, no poor man school. But then when they go there, they take us as farmer. They are eating. They didn't consider us. Then you people are talking there. They will not change. Thank you.
Okay. Alfred said they will not change. Okay. But we want a change to really come. That is why we want Nigerians to say their mind so that as the authorities listen, we hope there should be areas of change. Hello, good morning. 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. Send us an SMS to 091-2699-9404. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives. Oh, quite unfortunate. 0814-335-9292. That's the line once again. Once you are not able to connect, send an
Please,
SMS.
can I make
Just a moment. Hello, good
Hello.
morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
Hello, I'm Aloysius from Honor Occupier.
Aloysius, who?
Yes.
May we know your
want
full
to-
name, Aloysius?
Aloysius Ikon
Okay.
from Honor Occupier.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I
Aloysius.
want to appreciate you for the program and the guests in the house. I want to identify one other major problem that is affecting our democracy, which is sentiment. When a candidate comes out, we don't look at the credibility of the candidate, we look at the sentiment, where the person is coming from. All those things, if we continue to use them in our political space, they will not help us. So I'm appealing on all of us, both the electorate and the contestants, that we should divide this issue of sentiment. Whether the person is not your brother or you are from your political region, provided the person you know that the person is capable, support the person so that at the end of the day, we will have the goodness of the society for all of us. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aloysius Ikon. We should look at credibility and not sentiments. But how to measure credibility is also a subject matter on its own, but that's okay. That's your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Great, thank you. People in the house, sir.
May we know your name and where you are calling from, please?
My name is Tezungwe Awando, coming from Nigeria.
All right, Tezungwe, speak to us.
I just want to pay one among the contribution about this very wonderful topic. What our people used to know that we used to learn how to do the right thing in our society and in our political party. The right thing of our ministry. We have to stop the corruption. It's the corruption that is killing us. It's the corruption that's choosing the long leaders for us. It's the corruption that's choosing all those long things. AG, I'm a corrupt person too. I myself that speaking here. And some other people, I heard one of the contributions there. It's mentioning about the subsidy. I thought he didn't know the meaning of the subsidy. But our problem is to also point the right people to start from our home. Our problem begins our home, in the grassroots politicians. All those caucus, all those political leaders, they used to call. In our local government, we used to be selective to the right people in our home, in our areas. Please, the corruption is too much. We used to disease from this.
Okay. Thank you, Tezungwe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Corruption should be stemmed in our democracy. All right, let's take some messages briefly before we come back. We'll begin from our live stream feed from Facebook. Peter Luke says, as said, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But in our country today, democracy is the government of the rich, the old, with godfathers. We really need to step up and ensure Nigerian democratic system takes shape as defined by scholars. All right, thank you, Luke, for your comment on the live stream feed. Back in our WhatsApp box, mine is a question for Professor Ukase. Going by your professional antecedents as a historian with empirical knowledge about a country like ours, would it be right to term the government practiced in Nigeria today democratic? I am Ondakura Joff from George's Quarters in Makodi. Ondakura, thank you for your question. We'll respond to it. Good morning, sir, and the guests. It is clear that Nigeria has failed to harness the rich tapestry of its cultural varieties within a constitutional democracy. Consequently, the rich differences in the country's cultural orientations, which ought to promote the principle of constitutional democracy, have had the opposite effect. In my view, democracy can work to the benefit of Nigeria. Ordinary people should demand that ways are created for them to participate in decisions that affect them, regardless of their ethnic or religious identity. This should be the case in spite of the intervening centrifugal forces of ethnic pluralism and cultural diversity. For its part, the country's leadership should minimize the politicization of ethnicity and religion, and it should replace nepotism and sectionalism with meritocracy. The excessive powers vested in the federal government should be decentralized. This would enable different regions to regain autonomy, thus spreading putative benefits of federalism. From Ko Ephraim in Aka, Way West local government. Okay, Ko, thank you. Big grammar you have there. We appreciate you for sending your message. Good morning, guests in the house. Nigeria's democracy is maturing chronologically, but still nascent and fledgling in character, as evidenced in the lack of ideology and prostitutive cross-carpetism. Wonderful. The commoners need a revolution by coming together under a fresh political platform to wrestle power from the egocentric political class through majority votes and firm protection of votes cast. I am Solomon Begi from Makode. Solomon, thank you very much for your message. All right, let's go back to this question posed by Akura Joff. Prof. He specifically asked, would it be right to term government practice in Nigeria today democratic? He addressed that to you, so I'll request you to respond to that.
Thank you very much, Akura, for that question. It means that you are following this discussion very, very closely. If you follow the trend of discussion, we've made the point very, very clearly that we are a democratic nation with a number of challenges. What is a democratic nation? We have periodic elections. We have a document guiding our activities, which is the 1999 Constitution as amended. We have political parties. We also have some of the rights that are guaranteed in the Constitution: right to freedom of movement, right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of the press, and so on and so forth. So if you look at all of that, you agree that we have a democratic system. Be that as it may, I have enumerated a number of challenges that our democracy is going through. Somebody talked about I making the point that it will take a long time, but if the person listened to me very closely, I said we don't need to reinvent the wheel. That it took America or Britain 200-300 years does not mean it should take us 200-300 years. So yes, we have a democracy in place, but there are a number of challenges that we need to address, and that is even the focus of this conversation. We are interrogating our democracy and seeing how possible the things that we can do to improve some of the challenges, to change some of the limitations that we've had. So yes, there is democracy in place. Are there challenges? Yes, there are challenges. Are these challenges surmountable? Yes, they are surmountable. Thank you.
All right, Akura, I believe your question is noted. But Engineer Otene, listening to the callers, you were itching to say something. Now, particularly, I would like you to respond to one of the callers, the concern he made about the government or the day removing fuel subsidy, which, according to him, 99% of Nigerians, and of course I agree that I'm also among the 99 that are against it. But is the government responsive in a democratic setting, responsive to the yearnings and demands of the citizens with regards to this?
Yes. Before I attend to that question, let me correct an impression.
Yes.
Because I've been insisting, or rather I've been saying that we are in a learning process. And what I mean by that, let me clear the air. What I mean by that we're in a learning process is this. The learning process that we have found ourselves is collective. We are all part of the learning process. This idea that the learning process is squarely in the hands of the government is what I want to demystify. The learning process, we are all collectively involved. The responsibility to get our government to do the right thing is collective. It is not on any particular group of people's shoulder. And that is why I emphasize that part. I said the more we participate as participants in this democracy, it is not for a few people who are in government or who are in the place of power and authority. The more all of us collectively participate, checking the excesses of government and pointing the government to the direction we want by any means, protest, speaking out, whatever means you decide to employ within the Constitution to check the excesses of the people in government, the faster we will start getting it right. But the less we the less we participate, the longer we will remain in this valley. So when I say that it is a learning process, I am not saying that it is a learning process for those people in government. It is a learning process for all of us. And the need for all of us here who are participants in this democratic process need to wake up to our responsibility. The earlier we wake up to that responsibility, the earlier we start getting it right. The longer we refuse to participate, the longer we remain in this valley. Now, talking about the subsidy, let's go back to the question now. Unfortunately, a lot have been said about subsidy. But my take on subsidy is this. I've argued this in different fora. The only benefit that the totality of Nigerians enjoy, the totality, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, is the fuel subsidy. And I think it is too sudden for the government in power today to have cut off that subsidy. Again, they still argue that the subsidy is still on. And this is becoming very confusing to some of us that are not as intelligent as them. It is confusing. I think the government got it wrong. The idea of removing subsidy, it is premature. There are issues that I believe that need to be addressed, if at all there is subsidy to be removed. And some of this issue is that the corruption within the petroleum industry is massive. The bunkering, the diversion, the transactions that go on within that industry. I thought the first step, if at all there is need to remove subsidy, get me right, if there is need to remove subsidy, those areas, those indices that brought about the corruption within the petroleum industry need to be addressed first. Because this is what I get to know. Besides being also in politics, I'm also a chemical engineer. I've worked with oil industry for some time, so I understand the politics that plays around there. There are issues that need to be addressed. And by the time we get some of those issues addressed, I can assure you we will come to discover that there might not even be need for the so-called oil subsidy. The issue of corruption within the petroleum industry, the issue of bunkering, the issue of the transactions that go on within the industry, the issue of our comatose refineries. Those areas need to be addressed. The insecurity within the oil industry. By the time we get to address these issues squarely and put the oil industry in the right perspective, I am telling you that we might not even have need for the so-called oil subsidy remover. The oil subsidy remover is another corruption in its. It is not done, sorry to say, by the government in good faith. And if it is not corrected by addressing those areas I pointed at, the corruption in the oil industry, our refineries getting to work, and then putting our industry in the right pedestal, I think this issue of oil subsidy removal will keep haunting us, and will continue to be going round the circle. Because what is happening is that some people are just getting rich by the idea of oil subsidy removal. And that is all. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Yes, you are speaking to Shabo Achida, President of Okun local government.
The name is who?
Shabao Achida.
Okay, good to have you, Shagbao, from Zakibia, right?
That's it.
Okay, go ahead, Shagbao.
I want to recommend to the guests in the studio. You see, my brother, the issue we are discussing now is just like you are discussing your malaria problem with mosquito. After all, it still bite you. The elders of this country have taken us for granted. I really recommended the media that you people are doing your work seriously as well.
Thank you.
But our leaders are deaf and dumb. They didn't want to listen to us. All they are doing is for their own benefits. We are now refugees in our father's land, which is very, very unfair. But for the good of my knowledge, and what that give me peace is that God is listening to us, is watching all they are doing. They are taking us for granted. But you, as media, for your good work, you should continue with it. And we will keep on talking. Even though when we discuss finish, they will still go ahead. There's nothing like popular opinion. There's nothing like seeking the advices of the masses. But yet, still doing your work. I appreciate you on this topic. Very, very educative. Thank you.
Thank you, Shagbao. Thanks for your commendations for the media. Thank you. We appreciate you for calling in. And I see if Shagbao knew where my mind was going to go, but I'll come back shortly after some engagement. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, Prof. Talking about the basic tenets that keep democracy functioning, how would you rate the media in Nigeria? Is there press freedom as a component of democracy, and is the media alive to its responsibility?
I had the privilege of growing up during the military or studying in the university during the heydays of military government. And coming from that background, and especially in comparative terms, I can say that the media has been very, very responsive and responsible to its responsibilities to a large extent. During the heydays of military rule, we had instances where members of the press were detained for a number of days without trial. Some of them were killed in the process. Some of the media outfits were locked up, and so on and so forth. So since 1999, we've had the resurgence of our media. People substantially have the right to express themselves. The media also has been doing its job. I've heard one or two persons say that the Nigerian media is one of the freest in the world. When you hear some of the type of essays and some of the opinions that are expressed in our media, you know that yes, the media is actually doing its work. This has further been enhanced by the activities of ICT, where people also have the right to express. We are told that everybody is now in media. Once you have an Android phone, people are always quick to break the news. Sometimes they break the news faster than even you, Agate Radio. So, so there is always competition to break the news.
Yes.
So with the advent of ICT, it has even made the media more active, the orthodox media more active, because sometimes if you are not up and doing, other people will break the news before you even try to do that. So to a large extent, there is a sense in which the media has been able to live up to its responsibility in terms of holding the government accountable, in terms of educating the people and enlightening the people. Whether that enlightenment, that education is enough is a discussion or a conversation for another day. Because when you look at the attitude, because we've been talking about leadership all day, a society gets the type of leadership that it deserves. The leadership of this country does not just emanate from any other part of the world. They are part and parcel of the society. So we also need to interrogate the type of followership that we have. And for me, I think that is also very, very critical in this conversation. We've had a followership that is so docile, a followership that is so sycophantic, a followership that to a large extent demonstrates more of eye service to its leadership. Once the followership is unable to hold its leadership accountable, it means that the responsibility or the fault should also be thrown at the doorstep of the followership.
Correct.
I know in this environment that we are hitherto, and somebody talked about family values. There were certain things that you bring back home, your parents will ask you, indeed, how did you get it? We live in a world nowadays that if you are given an appointment, Usha, and you come back home without certain things, it is your environment, your community, that will start saying that, he went for that job and didn't bring anything. That type of environment, and then the type of pressure we even exert on our political office holders, quite often will make them go out of their way, to satisfy personal interest and, demands. For instance, a representative or a commissioner is often pressurized to pay money. Schools have resumed. Everybody wants school fees. Everybody wants celebrating birthday, burials, And so sometimes the pressure on elected officials and government appointees is such that they begin to run away from the people that they should mingle with and also get feedbacks from. You may be reluctant to go back to your hometown if you know that all they will demand, rather than asking you what government is doing, all they will demand is personal benefits and so on and so forth. So the type of followership we have, we also need to interrogate that followership. People need to change their mentality. Yes, I agree that, like a caller mentioned, we need to make politics less lucrative. When we make politics less lucrative, we also need the followership to realize that these people have been elected to serve. The more you don't ask them for personal benefits, exactly, the more you can hold them accountable. Once you enjoy certain benefits, it means that when such people come home, it may be difficult for you to ask them certain questions. You can't ask questions when you have kola nut in your mouth. So we need to be very careful about certain things that we do from our homes or down to the leadership, followership and leadership. Thank you.
All right. So this is the problem that cuts across. It's not just the leaders. So we are being professional here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
My pleasure. This is Comrade Dan Agbo from Mobile Barrack.
Good to have you, Dan Agbo.
Thank you. I think Alpha, the conversation is a very wide one, but I want to just point out some few points. Now, the number one thing that I want to say, when the prof was giving the analysis of how we get to where we are today, is the fact that tracing it, the root of the calibers of politicians we have today can be traceable to the political party where they come from. Now, he have pointed out it's a clear fact that the kind of people that the political party feature determine our future today. Why am I saying this? An individual can boast and say, I am the one that is bringing this person. Every other person have to succumb and support the person, even when the entire people know that this person is not suitable for the seat. You will see, because of the economic power that such an individual play in that political party, you see everybody rally around the person without questioning. And at the end of the day, if position is being given to such person, I tell you there is nothing good that will come out of the person. And that is one of the challenges that we are facing in our political setting today. Secondly, concerning the fuel subsidy, and the economic situation that we find ourselves today. Yes, the president can use his executive power to make certain economic pronouncements. But my question is to those representing us at the various, level. Talking about the House of Rep member and that of
Yes,
Senate.
just you will know then. Just summarize because if
Now,
our time is no longer there. Yes.
all right. My take is this: we are holding those people, accountable. That why is it that you are there and such policy is going on and you are not asking questions? And the National Assembly have an oversight function, which the president, they are supposed to control the president, not the president controlling them. But at the end of the day, because they were not properly elected, they have no option than to dance to the tune of the president. And that is why we continue to get it wrong. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is the role of
yes, just conclude now because
is the role of the media in our political system today. Yes, the media have been trying, but the executive are always using, the security apparatus to suppress, the will of the people whenever they want to express themselves through any media. Now, if you want to go into protest today, you see the executive will use the security apparatus to suppress you. They'll shoot you. They'll injure you. And at the end of the day, if you go to court to seek for justice, you cannot get justice because even the judges there are two in the hand of the executive. So I want to pay to every Nigerian now that it's time, no matter what it will take us, let's stand and rescue this Nigeria from the hand of those people that want to
disconnect because we really do not have time again. One more call and then we'll try to draw our concluding thoughts. Hello, good morning. Hello, okay. Engineer, okay, let's engage with this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, my name is Godwin Zegeya. I'm calling from Industrial Layout.
Good to have you join us, Godwin Zegeya.
Yes, I want to thank you and all the guests in the house. One of your guests say, Nigeria, we are still learning from democracy. And learning is a continual process. What we are suffering now is our leader. Once we vote them there, then go there, they don't come back. The same thing one of the guests was saying in the house that when those people come back to us or to give down their accountant on their briefings and have them represent us there, instead of us to be asking their question, what are they going to bring for us? What of the project? What kind of project are they going to embark on for the masses or for the community? What will be asking them that we are say, my children or my children never go back to school with no school fees or fertilizer or give me so things. We are the cause of those things ourselves. And secondly, if we hold those people accountable, we vote you for 4 years or 3 years, you do not even come back to tell us that this is the project. This is how you are fighting for the community. And this same person will still come back for second tenure. We will be the masses that this first tenure, this man did not even represent us. We still vote for the person.
All right.
Now we have voted them. They are there now. They are not even coming back to tell us what is going on. Before 2027, they will come back and be giving us Ghana must go. And foolish as we are, we still collect those money and vote those people back. So we are the cause of this thing. Nigeria is not practicing democracy, it's neoliberalism. We are practicing in Nigeria, where they can sit there and take decisions, whatever they feel like taking, and nobody will ask them. It's not supposed to be so. Look at the fuel crisis, with the fuel issue, subsidy that we are suffering now. There they are not suffering it because they are giving those things to them free. They are giving paper to them free.
Godwin, thank you. Thank you, Godwin. We appreciate you. That will be our last call on this edition. Engineer Otene.
Yes.
We'll move away from the comments of the callers and dive into a few issues before we conclude. Internal party wranglings. They are in almost every party, including your own party.
Yeah.
With this way, we the political parties make any meaningful way forward to advance democratic fortunes for citizens?
Well, that's very unfortunate. I spoke about that earlier, that the body responsible for bringing out candidates seems to be also in crisis. They are also in crisis. It is a very unfortunate development, and it needs to be addressed if we must get it right.
Because the struggle, the clamor for party structures.
Yes.
Should you politicians, with your leaders elected, be struggling for structures or struggling to give people dividends of democracy governance?
Earlier I tried to define who a political administrator is, separating him or her from being a politician. Until the politicians, those that seek elective offices, understand or realize that a political administrator need to be left alone to concentrate in building the structure of the party, because that is his job, and to concentrate in making sure that you as a politician, all the necessary documentation that you need, all the guidance that you need to enable you to contest election, all the protection that you need in the place of in the part of the political party to allow you contest elections successfully is being taken care of by the political parties. We will continue to have this crisis. These crises are born out of selfish interests, because people, the politicians now in quote, want to also not just run government, also want to run the political parties. That is where the problem is coming from. Allow the political parties as a structure, as an independent entity, as it were, to run their affairs, being guided by their constitution and the constitution of the Federal Republic. Okay? Until the politicians begin to know that, and then we will continue to have this kind of internal crisis within the political party. Their intention is to see how they could hijack this party so that they can begin to control who goes in or who comes out. And that is not healthy for our own political parties. What you are seeing is nothing but conflict of interest, so that they can hijack the parties and begin to determine who comes out by 2027. And we need to separate it. The politicians need to allow the parties to be parties. Okay. And they come so that the parties cannot create a fair environment for everyone that want to participate, that meet our terms and conditions to participate. But when you want to hijack it and you regulate the party, control the party to determine who comes out from that platform or who doesn't, that is the crisis you are seeing happening with all the political parties.
Okay, Professor Okasi, the off-cycle elections are due to hold later this month. Of course, 21st of this month, that of Edo will be taking place, and later in November, the Ondo election will be coming up. There is a debate over signing peace accord in Edo State, where PDP, the party in power, allegedly did not sign the peace accord. When we are going into elections, it looks as if wars are about to happen. Should it be so under a democracy?
It shouldn't be so. Election is a contest. It's like a game. You know, after a football match, you see the opponents hugging each other. You know, you won today, I'll win the next time. But like I said initially, we've made politics in Nigeria so lucrative that, you know, it has become a do-or-die affair. Why you hear during elections that the military is posting well over 100,000 soldiers, 150,000 policemen, 150,000 immigration officers, and so on and so forth. The same thing does not apply where we have insecurity. I made the point here that my local government, Gwe West, has been sacked for more than 10 years. I've not heard the IG of police saying he's posting 150,000 policemen to go to the hinterlands and sack all those people that are attempting to take over the land. It is only during elections. And so in Edo State, the same thing is playing out. We've heard of thousands of policemen being posted and security officials being well over 200, 300,000 security agents coming to my state, you know, there is this sense of fear. So why do I go out for an election? That's something that elsewhere it is done on a working day. People just stroll to the place, they vote and go to work. For 25 years, we've been unable to fix our democracy such that people can even sit in the comfort of their homes and vote. When we, you know, our young people have organized a number of things. When you watch Project Fame, when you watch some of the people vote from home, and you hear that in the end 20 million people voted and so on and so forth. With ICT, there are so many things that we can do. But here, up till now, to this point, we militarize the process. There is all kinds of intimidation, and so it is only in Nigeria that we have elections, and we hear that people are called upon to come and sign peace agreements, so that if in the end, if there is war, there is trouble, what happens? When you sign those peace initiatives and agreements, what happens if there is crisis? Since we started this idea of signing peace accords during election or before elections, has it changed anything? 2011, 2015, 2019, and of course 2023 and thereafter, all the elections have remained a farce.
Anyway, because we're fast out of time, in a historic move, President Joe Biden of the U.S. stepped down from his being nominated as Democratic candidate. What lessons can African leaders and our Nigerian democracy learn from that? Very briefly,
It shows that it shows that he's a statesman. It shows that it is about the people and about the country. And he made the point very clearly. It's not about me. It's about my country and it's about the people. He knew at some point that perhaps his health was a major challenge for him, and it was obvious during the presidential debate. And arising from, you know, comments from members of his party, he took that bold step. In Africa, it wouldn't have happened. In fact, people would have said it is better to die as a president than to leave that position. So, for me, it's a lesson for African leaders to take home.
Engineer Idoko, what can you political parties do to better our democracy going forward?
Well, let
in
me
30
say,
seconds, please.
Yeah, let me say in the theme of the World Democracy Day, as it is, the time that the world is thinking and talking AI, you know, deploying AI in the act of governance, we are still talking about our political party way of doing things. I hope that as we continue to listen to each other and we begin to separate the politicians from the party administrators, allowing the party administrators to do their things while the politicians are being guided to get it right, I hope by so doing, we will get it right. Thank you.
This is where we draw our curtains on today's edition of Perspectives. Professor Patrick Ukasi is a political historian. He is the Director, Pre-Degree and Diploma Studies, Prince Audu Abubakar University, formerly Kogi State University, Anyingba. He is immediate past Head of Department History and International Studies. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition and the valuable insights you shared on the program, Prof.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much
Engineer
for having me.
Idoko Otene is a state chairman, Labour Party, and chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, Benue State. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Dear listener, that's our program today. Join us on Wednesday for another edition of Perspectives. I am Nathaniel Nongo. Have yourself a great week ahead. Goodbye. I'll see you on Wednesday.